Oyster season is underway in Lavaca Bay.
This is my home port right here, Port Lavaca, Texas. It's been a pretty good spot over the years, but that's a grind. This is what I do for a long time. That was 30 years yesterday. That's why I've been fishing over here, this bait. We got so much salt in our blood that's what I love to do. If you love what you do, I mean, you're gonna stay for a long time like me. 30 years. They call them the oysters. What they doing right now is they making sure that they got 3-inch oysters. The state law said that it had to be 3 inches. Plus, you see, it's a clusters, what they come up. They don't come pretty like when you put them on your table.
Historically, Texas has been one of the top states in oyster production, dating as far back to the late 1800s. Texas reefs held what seemed like an endless supply, but times have changed. Over the years, the daily sack limits have been cut back.
It used to be 150 sacks a day.
Now Mauricio can keep a fifth of that.
Now they went down from 150 sack to 90 sack, and then from 90 sack they went to 50 sack. This year, the state limit is 30 sack. So every year we're getting less and less and less. And the bad part is the fuel, it don't go down, it goes up and up. But like right now, we're probably gonna make 20 sack all day long, maybe.
Recent science has indicated that really most oyster reefs are operating right on the border of sustainability. Everybody realizes that something needs to be done.
This part of Galveston Bay is getting some much-needed TLC in the form of a new reef bottom.
The key to restoring the habitat is putting fresh mulch out there. Mulch could be any materials that oysters can grow on.
This reef's getting 7,000 tons of crushed limestone.
Looks good. It's really amazing how you're able to operate this giant piece of machinery on a barge. This is really important because the oyster reefs are in pretty bad shape. They've been suffering from a number of stressors, including drought and hurricanes. And on top of that, there's a lot of heavy fishing pressure being put on. Pretty sad state of affairs for the oyster reefs currently. So these materials provide a nice clean, what we call a substrate for oyster larvae to attach to and grow into spat, which are baby oysters. The site will be closed to commercial harvest for 2 years, allowing the baby oysters time to grow to adulthood. By the fall, there should be millions of baby oysters growing on this rock out here.
Galveston Bay is not alone. Many Texas bays are temporarily closed to oystering as the reefs recover.
You the captain today?
To protect the bays as they rest, game wardens are on the water. This area is open to oystering, but nearby San Antonio Bay is closed and off limits.
Today what we did, we tried a different technique we haven't tried yet. We actually stuck a boat in the water that was an undercover vessel, and he actually drove out into San Antonio Bay, hid up in the brush for a little bit.
TX 4051.
And he drove down that line and basically wrote down the TX numbers of every boat that was located in the San Antonio Bay system side.
They were too close to land and they were in closed water. And they don't have any tags.
Stay game order. Y'all were in closed waters this morning.
Me?
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
It's not all the oyster industry that's actually doing this. There's a few bad apples.
He observed you in closed water.
No?
Yes. You're gonna have to dump the oysters too.
If we let them do what they want, then they would take too much of the resource and there wouldn't be any of the resource left.
Okay, 1 ticket for oyster in closed waters. Okay, contact Judge Hunt.
You have your license on you?
If they over-harvest an area, it does them no good the next year and the year after that and the year after that. Short-term gain, long-term loss is what we're looking at.
It's gonna be nothing. How the bay is gonna come back? If you kill the chicken, you ain't gonna have eggs. We need those oyster in restricted areas for them to spawn and get oyster everywhere. That's bottom line. You kill the chicken, you ain't gonna get no eggs.
To protect the reefs, at times there's more bays closed to oystering than those that are open, which adds to the grind.
You know, you leave it one area, small area open, everybody gonna put pressure on the area because it's the only thing is open. And that's what happened right now. When you overfish the resources, they just gonna disappear. A lot of small ones. This oyster be ready within 4 weeks. They're gonna reach 3 inches. They have to go back to the water. This bay for right now should be being closed for 2 months. They keep it wide open and there's nothing out there anymore, you know? By the time they close it, it's gonna be too late.
It's hopefully not too late. A historic restoration plan is in place. All bays in Texas will now get some much-needed help, as a new law requires oyster dealers to either pay a per-sack restoration fee or recycle their old shell. Supplier Curtis Miller opts to use his own shell.
I felt that would be the quickest way to, see some results. This was a way to see the quickest turnaround right here at home.
This reef recovery plan now guarantees new culch will be placed in depleted Texas bays. This shell is on its way back to Lavaca Bay.
We're going to put it out there in this area. It's not really a viable working area now, but we're hoping since it's a hard bottom, the shell will create a new reef that we can work, in a couple of years.
But this is going to happen all up and down the coast in every major oyster-producing bay. This is just the very beginning of something that will be an ongoing effort and should make a really big difference in the ecology of the bays.
If everybody up and down the coast starts doing this, which I believe you're going to start seeing, that'll make more reefs in Galveston Bay, more reefs in Matagorda area, more reefs in Rockport area, more reefs in our area, and the boats will be able to stay home.
We need to change the habit. We had to change the way we think. For those bays, to give them a chance to come back, we had to do all those things, For resources to be there, you gotta take responsibility, that's all.
And for Mauricio, a restored Lavaca Bay can't come soon enough. His haul today barely covered the costs for his crew.
Well, we managed to make a day. At least we're here, Nobody got hurt. We were shooting for 20. As you can see, we didn't have 20. We had 17. But the boat didn't break. We're happy. We're ready to go home now.
But you can bet he'll be back here tomorrow.
I enjoy it. Every single day that I'm out there, I'm enjoying it. I'm happy. And that's the spirit of the fisherman. It doesn't matter how broke you are. If you love what you're doing, you're going to keep it doing it. And that's me.
This project was funded in part by a grant from the Sport Fish Restoration Program.